But I do want to ask about your alma mater, because when Luke Fickell decided to go there, that's when the light bulb went off. I was like, okay, Wisconsin is very serious. Not just about winning the Big Ten West, which is not going to exist after next year, or maybe it will. Maybe they have to do divisions again now, but about winning the whole Big Ten. I know you are very involved there. Know everybody there. When did you realize, okay, they're going big game hunting here after they fire Paul Chryst?
So I think it actually is the second they fired Paul Chryst, because I don't know if you know the answer to this trivia question, but the last coach, Wisconsin coach in men's basketball or football that was fired mid-season, do you know the answer to that?
Oh, God. What was there ever one?
Yeah, it was Stan Van Gundy.
Oh, my God.
Stan Van Gundy, I believe 94, 95 season. It might have been the season before, but that's what Wisconsin's athletics have been. It's consistency. It's sticking with a guy. It's giving a guy a long ramp. It's all these things where it's like, hey, we know what we are. We are a consistent 8 to 10 win season, and then every like 4 or 5 years, maybe we win 11 games and lose by a touchdown to Ohio State. Like, that's kind of where Wisconsin's been. Great. Like, I am a big believer in, like, enjoy the little things. Like, if your team, I know that Wisconsin's probably not going to win a national title, but I enjoy the steps and I enjoy the big wins along the way, and that's what college football is about. But yeah, the minute that McIntosh fired Paul Chryst, I was like, oh, this is changing. This is all changing, because this doesn't happen. And he also, like, if you know anything about Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez is Wisconsin. He was the AD. He obviously was the coach that reinvigorated the entire program. His initial press conference where he's like, we got to keep the fat guys in Wisconsin. Like, we're gonna just beef up the line, all the Rose Bowls and Ron Dane, all that stuff. And then he becomes AD, and then he retires and he doesn't move out of Madison, and he's obviously there and he's hovering over everything. And I think McIntosh said, you know what? I love you, Barry. I played for you. I played in Rose Bowls for you. But we got to go a different direction, and I'm going to make it show. I'm going to show the Badger fans that this is a line in the sand where, hey, this is like, thank you so much, Barry, but this is a new era, and we have to start competing in a different way and not the old way that has gotten us 8 to 10 wins, but never really gotten us to that next level. And I think Luke Fickell gives you a chance. He's proven it at Cincinnati, and you just look at all the they might run the air raid. I don't think they're actually going to run the air raid. People are calling it the dairy raid. I think what they're going to do is spread them out and basically run the ball down your throat still, but they're going to pass more than they've ever passed, and they're changing, and in the transfer portal and all these things that Luke Fickell is instilling. I couldn't be more excited about the direction of Wisconsin, and it feels like for the first time in whatever it is, 20 years, that I don't know what to expect from this season, and that's fun. Like, that's fun. I have no idea.
Well, and so if you want a best case scenario for the dairy raid, I think you should go back to 2020. Phil Longo, who's the OC at Wisconsin now, he was at North Carolina. Michael Carter and Javonte Williams both ran for over 1,000 yards. Both averaged over 7 yards a carry. Both of them. Like, and Sam Howell's life was incredibly easy that year. That is the best case scenario for Wisconsin, and I do think they can do that with the kind of linemen they can get.
Yeah, and I think like there will be, obviously, at Wisconsin making any change, people are like, what the hell? What are they doing? I do not think it's going to be the air raid. You're right. Like Phil Longo has had 1,000-yard rushers, and I think it's going to be something, if you even look at maybe like a Baylor and the success they've had recently, something like that, where it's like, hey, we will pass, but more than anything, we're going to spread you out and give our running backs a chance to beat you light boxes, and I think that's going to have insane success. Braylon Allen doesn't get talked about enough as how special he is as a player, and I'm so happy he stayed. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that what you just said about not knowing what it's going to look like, and that is so true, because for Wisconsin, it has been the same thing since the early 90s.
Every year, if you ask me what I expect from the Wisconsin season, I'd be like, I think they'll probably win 9 games. They'll have a stout defense. They'll run the ball. And they'll lose by 2 touchdowns to Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan. Like, that was kind of it. I mean, Michigan maybe not as much, because Michigan was down for 15 years, but that was kind of the MO. And like, you could just bank on it. You could be like, bank, and they'll probably, like, they'll lose to Ohio State or Penn State, and then they'll have a hiccup against the Northwestern at 11 a.m. In Evanston, or one of those games where you're like, how the hell did we lose that game? And they'll go to a big bowl, and it will be a fun season, and I'll have fun. but I know where the ceiling is, and it's always there. Now I don't know where the ceiling